Angel Reese had her worst professional basketball game, and I'm not even stretching that out. That's not me trying to be overly elaborate, trying to really make it sound awful. No, she was bad. 0 of 8 from the field, 12 rebounds, of which I believe 8 were offensive. It was a terrible showing.
Angel Reese just delivered one of the most embarrassing performances in WNBA history, going 0 for 8 from the field while her own fans turned on her in real time. The Chicago Sky's combined negative 60-point differential through 2 games is officially the worst start in league history.
The Chicago Sky are already imploding from within. Fans are turning on the team. Camila Cardoso, oh no. Free Camila Cardoso. She is fed up with the Chicago Sky experiment. Tyler Marsh, once again, salute to you. You are doing the rest of the league a favor.
But here's what makes this story even crazier. While Reese was busy missing layups and collecting rebounds off her own terrible shots, Caitlin Clark and the Indiana Fever just bounced back with a statement win that has their fans more excited than ever. So how are Reese's fans decimating her in a hilarious way? If you're Team Clark, then comment Baby Goat down below. While if you're on Team Reese, then comment Baby Giraffe. Let's go.
Angel Reese threw 2 games, 5 of 22, with 10 turnovers. The Sky's minus 60-point differential is the worst through a team's first 2 games in WNBA history. Do you understand that's the worst first 2 games in the history of the league? Oh, it's bad. It's real bad. Coming from a Sky fan, Angel Reese is the worst basketball player I've ever watched. Woo. Woo. My goodness.
Let's be real about what happened during that Liberty game. Missing 8 straight shots in the WNBA isn't just bad luck or an off night. Professional basketball players at this level typically shoot around 45% from the field. The mathematical probability of going 0 for 8 when you're supposed to be elite is roughly next to 0. But you know Angel Reese. She makes the impossible look easy. Or the other way around. She makes hitting easy layups look horribly impossible.
Turnovers. The whole team stinks. Chicago Sky fans are officially going to war. They can't stand Tyler Marsh. Think he ought to get run out. And let's just start here. Let's start here. Worst plus minus in all of the WNBA is, in fact, you guessed it, Angel Reese. 9 out of the 14 bottom 14 are Chicago players.
The breakdown started early in the game with a sequence that perfectly captured Reese's entire night. After Camila Cardoso missed a shot, Reese grabbed the offensive rebound. Sounds good so far, right? Then she missed the putback attempt. No problem, things happen. She got her own rebound again and missed another putback. Still manageable. But then she missed a 3rd consecutive putback attempt before finally losing possession. 4 shots in 1 possession. 0 points to show for it.
Angel Reese, part 33! Let's get it!
Only lost by 25 this time!
Bang!
That stuffer coming hot with the stats. She went 0 of 8, 5 turnovers, and she got 1 hit stick.
Bang!
She had 12 rebounds. 8 of them were the me-bounds, if you know what I'm saying. All right, let's get it going. How about it?
Bang!
Again, there's another me-bound. Let's do it again.
Bang!
Another me-bound. Do it again.
Bang!
Another me-bound. One more time.
Bang!
Wait, you're allowed to pass the ball?
You know what makes this even worse? Most of these weren't contested shots against elite defense. We're talking about layups and putbacks that high school varsity players convert regularly. Jonquel Jones blocked a few attempts, but the majority were clean looks that Reese simply couldn't finish. The Liberty's defense wasn't even game planning around stopping her because she was doing their job for them.
Reports came out that Camila Cardoso was sold on the Tyler Marsh signing. Rumor came out that Camila Cardoso wasn't excited, wasn't too pleased with how Teresa Weatherspoon was using her last year. So when she heard Tyler Marsh, when she got a sniff of Tyler Marsh possibly coming on board, they talked, laid out the game plan. Camila Cardoso was bought in. Cardoso was drinking the Kool-Aid, eating what Tyler Marsh was feeding her. But again, sold a fake bill of goods.
This is where it gets interesting with Cardoso's reaction. During that brutal sequence, cameras caught her walking away from the group after Reese's third straight miss. Her body language screamed frustration. She literally distanced herself from what was happening. When your own teammate starts acting like she doesn't want to be associated with your performance, you know things have gone completely sideways.
The person who should be throwing temper tantrums on the Chicago Sky, that person should be this woman right here. That person should be Camila Cardoso. Look at the frustration oozing out of Camila Cardoso. She gets a switch. Natasha Cloud, she's posting her up. We can't get an entry pass to Camila Cardoso.
Now let's talk about those 12 rebounds that Reese managed to collect. Here's the thing about stat padding accusations. They usually come from somewhere real. A significant portion of those rebounds came directly from her own missed shots. She was essentially creating her own rebounding opportunities by missing everything she threw up. That's not basketball impact, that's mathematical recycling.
The worst part about this Camila Cardoso last night is you seeing her visibly giving up on her team here. Look at this. Look at this. Camila Cardoso literally walking towards the New York Liberty bench. Walking towards the New York Liberty bench. Like, hey, Brianna, Sabrina, scoot over a little bit. Let me take a seat. Hey, Sandy, is there any room on the bench for me? Can you guys use an extra player? Can I switch jerseys and see how I fit on this team?
The Liberty's defensive strategy became obvious as the game progressed. They weren't doubling Reese or sending help defenders her way. Why would they? She was missing wide-open looks consistently. Their game plan shifted to just letting her shoot and collecting the defensive rebounds when she inevitably missed. It's actually genius when you think about it. Let your opponent waste possessions while you focus on everyone else.
I'm gonna tell her when you travel, you need your real ID now! Bang! Free throws ain't free! Bang! Again! Bang! All right, brother, who at the zoo is responsible for letting the giraffes out of their habitat? How many steps was that? Traveling! Bang! Does a fly and Angel Reese have in common? They both get swatted. Bang! Green company reached out. They said, I want to sponsor you. I said, you don't have my flavor. They said, what's your flavor? I said, butter pecan. Bang! He's shooting 23% from less than 5 feet from the basket. 4 of 17 from right there. What? Throws are fundamentals. Bang! What did she do in the offseason? Bang!
Each missed shot added another layer to Chicago's historic collapse. The Sky's negative 60-point differential through 2 games represents the worst start in WNBA history. Reese's individual failure to score became the centerpiece of this organizational disaster. You can't build winning basketball around a player who can't make layups in crucial moments. The numbers tell a brutal story, but Nick Wright captured the emotion perfectly with his assessment after the game. Angel Reese needs to be better at basketball. 7 simple words that summarized exactly what everyone watching was thinking. Not, she had an off night, or she'll bounce back. Just the plain truth that a professional basketball player needs to actually be good at basketball. The performance was so embarrassingly bad that it triggered something unprecedented. Reese's own fans started turning against her in real time on social media.
Angel Reese needs to be better.
Yeah.
At basketball. I'm not talking about as a person. I'm not talking about as a podcaster. I'm not talking about as at the Met Gala. She needs to be a better player.
Within minutes of the final buzzer, social media transformed into an absolute roasting session for Angel Reese. Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok became battlegrounds where fans unleashed their frustration in ways that would make professional comedians jealous. The speed of this digital pile-on was genuinely shocking. We're talking about a complete narrative flip happening in real time.
You do have Sky fans that are turning on Tyler Marsh. They're screaming that Kennedy Carter should be back on the team. Angel Reese should be off the team. It is getting, what's the saying in baseball? It's getting late early. It started out real damn bad. Y'all's perimeter defense was horrible. I mean, Stevie and JJ were held on their points. Y'all got a lot of work to do. Y'all have let shooters, but y'all got shooters, but no scorers like Carter was. Lost by 35 and then 25. Trash.
You know what makes this situation particularly brutal? These weren't random haters or opposing team fans doing the damage. These were Chicago Sky supporters who had defended Reese through her rookie struggles just a year prior. The shift from "give her time to develop" to "she doesn't belong in this league" happened faster than her missed layups against the Liberty. Former defenders started questioning everything about her game, her work ethic, and her basketball IQ.
The Chicago Sky don't want to win. Angel Reese needs to come off the bench. She's terrible. She doesn't do anything to help the team win or be better. Please keep letting her be great, a great point forward. She isn't. Take 3-pointers. Bring back Weatherspoon. Man, they're going to war. They're going to war. I mean, wow. This right here, this woman. I think Reese is supposed to be playing in the Special Olympics. Wow. Wow. Good thing we got rid of Kennedy Carter and all that scoring power she had. 0 for 8. Angel Reese sucks. Boy, it is not good.
The creativity of fan criticism reached legendary levels. One fan posted, "This Barbie is broken," which immediately went viral and spawned hundreds of similar memes. Another supporter wrote, "Girls out here snatching rebounds like exes snatch hoodies," perfectly capturing how her rebounding numbers felt more like theft than legitimate basketball production. These weren't just angry rants. Fans were crafting genuinely funny content at Reese's expense.
Thank you, Coach Tyler Marsh. You were single-handedly exposing Angel Reese's lack of ability to play basketball. By the way, that's kind of weird, but did he know this was going to happen? Did he know this was going to happen? I mean, that's interesting. Free Camilla. Look at this. Throw me the ball. Never mind, don't. I mean, God.
But the stat padding accusations cut the deepest because fans started doing actual math to prove their point. One particularly damaging tweet read, "At the end of the first quarter, Angel Reese has 0 points on 0 for 5 shooting. 5 of her 7 rebounds are on her own missed layups. When people throw shade at her, it's because this is how she stat pads." Fans began calculating percentages and tracking how many rebounds came from her own misses. This wasn't emotional criticism anymore. This was data-driven destruction.
Where the hell is Angel Reese at? She needs to explain some shit. Sky fans are not happy that she did not show up to this press conference on another episode of Ass.
The comparisons started getting really personal when fans began mentioning high school and college players who could finish better around the rim. Some supporters posted highlight reels of local prep players making the exact same layups that Reese was missing in professional games. And people say she's as good as Clark became a common refrain that stung because everyone knew it was true. Former supporters reached a breaking point where they started questioning whether Reese belonged in professional basketball at all. One user stated bluntly, "I don't know if you understand how bad you gotta be setting records for how bad you are in the WNBA." Another simply asked, "How is she that bad?" These weren't elaborate takedowns, just genuine confusion about how someone could perform this poorly at the highest level.
Sky fans, it was going to get interesting because you would start seeing the basketball fans rise to the top and the Reese fans start separating down towards the bottom. All right? Get your podcaster to work on layups. I mean, she is so bad. There, of course, is the embarrassing offensive rebound, missing layups, yada, yada, yada. Guys, it's ugly.
Caitlin Clark comparisons became weapons that fans wielded with surgical precision. Every missed shot got paired with Clark highlights. Every turnover came with reminders about Clark's assist numbers. Every defensive breakdown included references to Clark's basketball IQ. The contrast became so obvious that even casual fans started using Clark's name as shorthand for what professional basketball actually looks like. Chicago Sky season ticket holders began expressing serious buyer's remorse across social platforms. These are people who invested hundreds or thousands of dollars expecting competitive basketball. Instead, they got front-row seats to historic futility. Their complaints carried extra weight because they represented the team's most dedicated financial supporters walking away. This complete fan rebellion created the perfect contrast to examine what real professional basketball success actually looks like when you watch Caitlin Clark's trajectory.
The basketball fans are going to separate when they start seeing more and more of the when they start seeing more of what they saw last night. They're going to start going, wait a minute. Are you telling me there's not a single person we can find that we can put in there that's going to be better than that? Not only that, but her play may be hampering the development of your superstar big you got in there? I mean, you got to start asking basketball questions.
Caitlin Clark's response to adversity shows you exactly what professional basketball mentality looks like. While Angel Reese crumbles under pressure and creates team drama, Clark bounces back from losses with focused determination. The Fever's statement win against Atlanta after their earlier defeat perfectly demonstrates this contrast. Clark didn't sulk or make excuses. She analyzed what went wrong, adjusted her approach, and led her team to victory despite having an off night herself.
Yes, this stinks. We want to win this game. But, I think this is great for her team. A little adversity. How are we going to respond? How are we going to come in here tomorrow morning and watch the film and learn and get on the court and get better? And like I said, that's why this league is so great. You have a couple days and then you get right back to it. You find a way to respond. We have a chance to go there and play them, actually. So it's even better, I guess. We can, get a little redemption if we go down there and play well.
The difference becomes obvious when you watch how Clark elevates everyone around her. Lexi Hull and Sophie Cunningham looks more confident taking shots because Clark creates perfect passing lanes. Aaliyah Boston dominates the paint partly because Clark's court vision finds her in optimal scoring positions. Kelsey Mitchell gets cleaner looks because defenses have to respect Clark's range and playmaking ability. Natasha Howard scores a monster night because of Clark's gravity and passing. Compare this to Chicago, where Camila Cardoso literally walks away from Angel Reese during games. That body language tells you everything about team chemistry.
Turning your back to your team, walking away from the active plays going on, walking away from the actual basketball action. Yeah, Camila Cardoso's not a happy camper over there in Chicago, and I don't blame her. Again, this is another year of the same nonsense.
Clark's basketball IQ operates on a completely different level than what we see from Reese. She reads defensive rotations before they happen and delivers passes that create easy scoring opportunities for teammates. Her assist numbers reflect genuine playmaking, not desperate attempts to pad stats. When Clark grabs rebounds, she immediately pushes the pace and looks for fast break opportunities. When Reese grabs rebounds, half of them come from her own missed shots. Fever fans are getting more excited with each game because they see real progress and genuine basketball excellence. Their enthusiasm grows because Clark's performance creates actual wins, not just meaningless individual statistics. Meanwhile, Sky fans are jumping ship faster than passengers on the Titanic. Chicago season ticket holders are expressing buyer's remorse, while Indiana supporters are already planning their playoff watch parties.
Sophie Cunningham and Lexi Hull are the real deal. That's what it does look like. It looks like these two off the bench, you can name whoever you want. These two ladies off the bench are going to be the most impactful duo in the WNBA, hands down. Hands down, these two are going to be the most impactful duo in the WNBA off the bench. They bring the energy, they bring the heat, they're able to score, they play defense.
Let's be real about fundamental basketball skills. Clark finishes around the rim with consistency that Reese can only dream about. She makes layups that matter in crucial moments. Her free throw shooting stays reliable under pressure. These aren't flashy highlights, but they represent the foundation of professional basketball. Reese's inability to convert basic shots around the basket exposes the gap between college production and WNBA requirements. Leadership styles reveal character, and Clark's approach brings teams together while Reese's creates visible tension. You can see it in how teammates react during timeouts, how they communicate on defense, and how they celebrate successes. Clark's leadership makes everyone feel included and valued. Her style builds confidence across the roster. Reese's approach seems to generate frustration and division among players who should be working together.
Proud of our fight, the toughness that we showed, our ability to stay together. Our bench was really engaged in every timeout and in every huddle. We were all engaged. And
the anticipation for Indiana's 2025 season keeps building because their core group is clicking at exactly the right time. Clark, Hull, Boston, and Mitchell are developing chemistry that translates to wins. Their improvement feels sustainable because it's based on fundamental basketball principles rather than individual stat accumulation. This creates genuine optimism about long-term success, especially with new veterans added to the team. Here's what separates real impact from empty production. Clark creates winning basketball that shows up in team records and playoff potential. Her statistics matter because they contribute to victories. Reese collects numbers that look impressive on paper but don't translate to team success. Clark's rebounds lead to fast breaks. Her assists create efficient offense. Her scoring comes at crucial moments that change game outcomes. This contrast reveals everything about the future trajectory of both franchises and the players who will define their success moving forward.
What a win for the Indiana Fever against the Atlanta Dream. Good teams win ugly. And that was what was most impressive to me about the Fever's performance against the Dream.
Angel Reese's downfall perfectly shows the difference between empty stats and real basketball impact. Her 12 rebounds mean nothing when half come from her own missed layups. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark creates actual value through assists that lead to team wins and clutch shots that matter. The future looks completely different for these franchises. Clark and the Fever are building something special with players who complement each other perfectly. The Sky face serious questions about their foundation when their supposed star can't make basic layups. Fans are learning to spot the difference between manufactured hype and genuine talent. Real basketball speaks for itself. If you're Team Clark, then comment Baby Goat down below, while if you're on Team Reese, then comment Baby Giraffe. Like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss out. Click the video on the screen, and we will see you in the next one.